And welcome back to the second hour of the morning drive here. And we have before us Miss Terri Thomas. We're talking about her great event they have annually. She is the executive director for the Vision Center. What's the official name for that?
Vision Resource Center.
Vision Resource Center, correct. And does a great job with that. Well, look, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you, and good morning.
Good morning to you. I know you've been busy, and now you've been busier.
Yep, back to reality.
Yeah. Well, look, so yeah, you have this what you call fall bloom, full bloom.
Yes, full bloom.
A fashion show starring visually impaired people.
Exactly.
That is great. That's fantastic. And so, how many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing the Vision Resource Center for 16 years.
But you've been doing this.
This will be our second annual.
Okay, second annual.
Because we did
it
in 2024.
Okay.
Dwayne Gill and Catherine Gill, they actually started this. They wanted to do something to raise funds for the VRC where they would kind of keep me out of it and do it. And she said, Terri, you looked at me and said I need to do something more. So I came up with this fashion show. And so I said, okay, Miss Gill, fashion show. She said, yep, I'm going to raise $10,000. I said, your first time you're going to raise $10,000? I didn't deter her. I said, well,
right.
okay, well, if you do, that's great. Do you know she raised $16,000 in the first year?
Wow.
Yes, her and Shauna Phillips and Patty Nussbaum, they actually helped to get this off the road. All I did was write the checks and they did everything. So when I went to the first one, I was like a proud mama hen sitting there watching blind people just exude who they were going down the runway. I mean, they turned into some different people, Troy. I mean, they were cutting a rug and it was a full pack audience at Kiwanis Rec Center, standing room only, and I couldn't have been more proud.
Excellent. Well, I have a visual impairment, but not sight-wise. I'm color deficient.
Okay.
Colorblind.
Colorblind.
And I never thought about that like that until, I went in the military and I couldn't pass the color test, and it changed my whole career of what I wanted to do with life. And, there are some people out there, they include that as a part of the whole visual thing as well.
That's true. There is a visual impairment.
Right. And they have some pretty expensive glasses.
Very expensive. Everything with
right?
blind people is expensive.
Yeah, if I could get these guys to buy me a pair, I mean,
They're still not looking up, Troy.
They hear me, though. It's not wrong with their ears.
Just like you wanted them to be in a fashion show. They didn't look up for that either.
Yeah, that's all right. We'd handcuff them, drag them out there,
Yeah, Troy's looking like Shaft this morning. Y'all can't see him but from head up, but he is looking like Shaft. He looking pretty dapper today.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
He is sharp.
Well, I can't be in your fashion show, though. No, not me.
But he want to put y'all out there.
Yeah.
People.
So, specifics to this, let's talk about where it's going to be at.
Okay.
I think the deadline is passed for sponsors.
Yep, for sponsors.
Let's talk about what your sponsors were, though. You had the platinum sponsors for $1,500.
It was at low cost.
And your gold sponsors for $5, silver for $3, and bronze for $150.
Yep, and we
Right.
had Sistel and Cape Fear, our associates, were our two headline sponsors.
Right.
And so we just appreciate them so much for helping to get this going. Sistel's doing the whole print media, so the actual program book is going to be more like a magazine, and I can't wait for people to see it. It is absolutely amazing with Malvin Pacheco. She's my graphic designer, outreach coordinator, and she has brought it to life, Troy.
Right, excellent. So, and then in your booklet, full page was $130, half page $90, and a quarter page $65.
Yeah, it was a low cost event.
That's very
affordable.
Right.
$25 to get in. So
Right.
that's day of is $30. So it's a very we want to make it affordable for people, but still make a big impact. So
Right.
that was the biggest thing, and we kept everything the same as last year. Except we did do sponsorships, and we raised $16,000. So like I tell people all the time, you don't have to be $5,000-$10,000 sponsor. Your money can multiply.
Right.
Multiply. So we any donation is not too small.
So last year you guys were at the Kiwanis, but this year you're going to be
At the Hellenic Center, or people call it the Greek Church.
The Greek Church.
At 614 Oak Ridge. So for people that, what is that? That's where they have the spaghetti dinner. They do the
Right.
big spaghetti dinner to raise funds for the community at the Greek Church. So that's where we'll be this year.
Well, excellent. So, kind of give us a little synopsis of what happens at this thing.
Okay, well, the Full Bloom concept, we decided to do a Met Gala concept. And for those that say, what's the Met Gala? It's a theme. So we looked at it as blooming, people blooming into their empowerment and embodying who they are, like being able to cultivate just who they are internally, not that they're blind people or visually impaired people, but who they are as people. So we'll be telling a story about each of the models in terms of their journey of visual impairedness and what caused them to be blind, but not focusing on that so much, but who they exude as people, right? So that's where you get the full bloom. So we want the audience, or the people that come, to be in their bloom outfits. So all of the outfits will be inspired with some type of bloom, whether it be flower or creativity. So we want to be able to get the audience involved as well. So we want you to come in your bloom to bloom your experience as well. But we'll have our visually impaired, they'll be walking alone down the runway, and completely blind. People's like, how are they going to walk blind? They'll have escorts to walk them down, right? And then we also have our visually impaired youth. They will be doing the music as they come down, so they'll be playing the instrumentals.
Okay.
So it's going to be off the chain. So it's an experience you don't want to miss. It's not going to be your average fashion show.
Okay, and that's going to be on the 21st, which is on a Saturday.
March 21st.
And that's going to be from 1 to 3.
1 to 3. So it's early. So if you have other things to do in the afternoon,
Right.
why not come out and support a very good nonprofit, the Vision Resource Center? Because all the funds will go to help with the social interaction, and to get out of the actually being at home alone, and all the programs that we do at the Vision Resource Center. We uplift and enhance the blind and visually impaired and keep them independent, vibrant, beyond. The main thing that people have a problem with in terms of depression and stuff with blindness is not being able to drive. So we drive our 2 vehicles over 20,000 miles a year, going to pick them up at home and bring them to programs and take them to programs. So a lot of your funding will be going to help in that aspect, being able to help us keep them active. So other diseases and things don't come in, like diabetes, high blood pressure, in that way. So we're trying to keep them active and happy, and that's the thing.
So how has technology improved or made life better for the visually impaired?
Well, there's a lot of different things. Like a lot of people, I have one gentleman, he's our social worker for the blind. He works at the center.
Right.
And so it's like, how does he know how to dress? They're like, Terri, do you go to his house and dress him? I was like, no, he's an individual. So there's something called a colorama, which you put on your clothes and it tells you what the colors are. So that's one thing. So a lot of times they dress themselves. With Apple, they can make phone calls just like we do.
Correct.
On a cell phone. They also have what's called a CCTV for low vision people. So what that is, I don't know if you remember the microfiche from the library back in the day.
I remember that day.
Well, it's the same concept, except you can put your letters or stuff under it and it will magnify like 300 times. So
Okay.
that still allows you to read. Right? Then the Meta glasses just came out. So we have a sponsor that's going to be able to supply 22 of our individuals with the Meta glasses, because not only do people have them for technology, but that helps with blind people, because that you can answer your phone with them. It tells you what's in front of you, that type of thing. Meta glasses are excellent, and they have We Walk canes. Have you heard of that?
We Walk canes.
The city of Fayetteville provided us with some funding to help about 30 people last year. It's a smart cane, so you don't have to have anybody with you. It's like a GPS on your cane.
Oh.
So it helps you walk around and navigate around the city or wherever you are. So that's awesome. So many things.
Does it talk to you?
Yeah, it talks to you.
Okay.
It talks to you, navigates just like your GPS or your Siri, your navigation. It talks to you, tells you what's in front of you, if there's a curb, it does all of that. It's the neatest thing.
I've seen some people around town. I don't know if they had that device or not, but they seem like they really, when they get to the curb, and they're able to tell whether a vehicle is coming and all the other stuff.
Because your other senses are heightened as well,
That's
with
true.
your hearing. But also when they go to independent living training, which the state provides that, when you do that orientation mobility training, which is how you use your cane, they teach you all these skills. So they can be as independent as we are. It's just they can't see. And I think that's the misconception, that people are going to stay in their homes and not come out. But they train you in that way. So those are the things that we don't get a lot of funding for, that our people want more of, is more independent living classes. Because with the state, you only have 6 to 8 weeks and that's it. right? But we want to continue the ongoing process of training independent living and being able to pay people a livable wage. Some of our blind people, they've gone to these classes to teach them. So I don't want to just bring people in that are contractors. I want to actually employ our blind and visually impaired people to be able to train other visually impaired. So some of the money will be going towards that too. That's something that they want so desperately.
Right. Wow. You know, so and I guess the whole thing is being visually impaired. Some people think that being legally blind means that you can't see anything at all, and
Right.
that's simply not the case, correct?
That's exactly right. That's not the case. A lot of people, it's maybe 3% of our people, of our VRC members that were born blind. Most of the time, you may have glaucoma, so you might can only see through a little pinhole, and that's all you can see. Or I might be able to see your head and not your whole body. So visually impaired is a range of different levels of blindness in that way. You just can't drive a car. You know,
Right.
basically you can't drive a car. But that doesn't mean you can't see anything.
And they can see shadows.
Some
and they
can
know.
see shadows. Like I said, some people can see like almost like cheese. You know how the different holes are in like Swiss cheese? Some people see like that. So there's different levels of blindness that people don't even realize. Because a lot of times I went to this program, it's a long time ago, at the Arts Council, and one gentleman said, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't believe all people are blind because they can see something. I said, well, it's a misconception to think that they're completely blacked out and blind.
Right.
But it's the education. People are just not educated. So you can't fault them for not being educated in it. But you have to teach them.
Right. So now your models are going to be visually impaired people.
Uh-huh.
Will some of the escorts not be?
Escorts will be sighted.
Right.
Troy.
Escorts. Right. So I'm saying cited. That's what I'm trying to get. You know, these
Yeah.
guys get them a job. You know.
Yeah, they'll be sighted, but they'll be dressed in full blown too.
Right.
So they'll be dressed in the part, but the folk that we have shining are going to be the blind and visually impaired because that's what it's all about for them,
Right.
and they are excited. We had a rehearsal on yesterday, so they
Excellent.
are excited. I saw them looking good. I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. So they got me in it this year. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm almost like these guys over here. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, they're going to push me out there this year.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've seen those guys. You know, I was teasing them, but I've seen them in their, you know, their
Yeah.
suits, man. You know, they be looking good. I don't know whether they did it or their wives did it, but still.
We'll just go that they were looking good. We'll keep it right there.
So you guys are rehearsing, and you know, this sounds like just such a fabulous affair.
Yeah, it's just, the thing is, Troy, to watch them just, the self-confidence.
Right.
You know, and a lot of some of the women, they're like, oh, I've never been made up like this before, because we have actual makeup artists that are going to be there,
Okay.
hairstylists, that type of thing, just to see what type of confidence they have on that runway. It's incredible. I mean, I guess my first year seeing it, I didn't know what to expect,
Right.
2024, but I just could not stop just smiling and them showing the community that we are not our disability, or we are not just blind and visual. We're people like everybody else. And I think people got it. And so many people are looking forward to this year, because we didn't have it last year, but we're having it this year. So many people are looking forward to it. So we just need to fill the room with positive energy as these folk walk down the runway and shine. That's the main thing for me. And just being able to allow them to represent the VRC, because it is their program.
Right.
And that's why I'm there for them.
So I think way back when, there was probably before your time, I think there was an office on Robinson Street, and then you went to
Rowan, I think, Rowan and Brad Boulevard.
right, and then you went to Purdue Drive.
That's why I came on board in 2010.
Right. And now you guys are a little bit further out.
Yep, we're out on Cedar Creek Road.
Right.
Absolutely beautiful property. We definitely thank the county for being there. I mean, it is. You got to come visit, Troy. I mean,
it's true.
We have the Braille Trail out there where they can walk. We actually have a Braille Trail where it has a rope around, so they can go out and walk independently,
Right.
with a sensory garden, and so they can walk the number of laps that they want to, and it's just gorgeous. You can hear the birds. You could just nature in itself. There's a sunroom that they love with rocking chairs that were donated by one of our people, but it's like a home. It's set up like a home environment. And so it's just the whole energy and the holistic environment that it produces. You can't beat it. So even though it's on Cedar Creek Road, as people say, you're way out there. Once you come out there, you want to stay. It's
Right.
absolutely beautiful.
I know where you are. I'm gonna go and come out and,
You gotta stop.
and let you give me a tour.
You got to stop
But
by.
really excited about what you guys are doing there. what percentage of visually impaired people are there probably in America in a small community like our own?
Well, let me say this. In Cumberland County, the last time they did statistics, it was 676 blind and visually impaired people registered. And that just means people that have said, hey, I'm blind and visually impaired. But there's a whole lot of folk out there that haven't registered because some people say, hey, I don't want the government tracking me. I don't want to be considered blind and visually impaired. So those are just people that they actually have registered on the roll in Cumberland County. I can't tell you nationwide, but I can tell you about Cumberland County. And so we serve about 250 of those 676 right here in community on a regular basis. But on our radio reading, we have a radio program as well that streams 24 hours a day. We served over 1,400 people in terms of streams, and that's across the country because it is national. So in terms of what region they're in, Zeno Radio doesn't track that, but we have streamed over 1,700 people, between 1,500 to 1,700 people live on our streaming. So we read papers like Up and Coming, we read City View, we read Fayetteville Observer. We do, it's another magazine that we do. We do the Sanford Herald. So we do a lot of the local neighboring newspapers. So people that are blind and print impaired, can't see the writing, they're able to know what's going on locally. Because for a lot of people, they don't know what's going on in our community. So this is a way for them to find out. As well as they have Fortune Magazine, Time Magazine, chair exercises. So this runs 24 hours a day for people to be able to have local news as well as everything else that's going on in our community and nationwide.
So the learning the Braille, what's a good timeline for people to kind of get proficient with that?
Well, this is the thing about Braille. The unfortunate thing is it's almost a dying breed, even though it's needed.
Okay.
And that's one of the things I need to get money for. I have Miss Diane Vito that's on me right now about teaching people Braille, but you have to get the funding for that piece of it. But a lot of our folk are getting so used to Siri and the iPhone and the Audible things, and they don't necessarily use it. But Braille is very difficult to learn how to do. I tried it myself because I wanted to learn. But not only that, most people that are diabetic, you have neuropathy in your fingers, so you can't read the Braille. You have to be able to feel. You have to be able to feel it. So that's why I think a lot of these different technologies are coming up with more audible resources too for the blind, because everybody can't do Braille. That's the thing. But it's best, of course, to learn while you're younger. But if you can, it's never too late to learn. But that's the thing. It's a dying breed of teachers or instructors to teach Braille. That's the thing. So being able to find them is hard, and then you have to be able to pay them. So that's the thing. I don't think they have any here in Cumberland County, but they do in Wake County at the School for the Blind. So a lot of people learn Braille there, and then they have some things online that you can do. But of course, it's better to do instruction hands-on a lot of times.
Yeah, well, I would imagine technology, because if you were home, you could tell Siri to turn your lights off and on. If you have Google Play, I have one of those.
Right.
I can say, Google, hey Google, what time is it? Hey Google, what's the weather?
Right.
Hey Google, play this song from 1963.
Right.
Whomever.
Right.
So they could do that.
Yeah, we do Alexa. So we do Alexa training. The biggest thing is we use people to go out and actually set them up.
Right.
For people that don't have family in their home. So to set them up on the Wi-Fi and that kind of thing. But we do have Alexas. We got a grant from Pfizer up in Sanford to be able to provide Alexas and technology, as well as the county and United Way of Cumberland County. They have funding to help us to do assistive technologies for them. So we do a lot of little things that we can. Never enough to get everybody, but we try to at least have those that may not have the means to be able to get these things. So we kind of look at things on a case-by-case basis in terms of income, and then go from there. So we make sure that people get what they need.
I guess Alexis can lock your doors too, right?
I don't know about the locking the doors, but the main thing about it is we use for the timers and the reminders and that kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know if we do so much. A lot of them stay in apartments, so I don't think that they do use that function. Not saying they don't do it. But I don't know. But I don't know about that functionality. Let me say that.
Right. Excellent. Well, look, we're going to go to a break, come back. We talked to Ms. Terri Thomas. She is the executive director of the Vision Resource Center, talking about a great event that they're having. Hope that you will be able to come and participate and watch this full bloom. It's going to be at the Greek Church over on Oak, what's that street?
614 Oak Ridge Avenue.
Yeah, 614 Oak Ridge Avenue. Great event, full bloom, cultivating confidence, a fashion show starring visually impaired people.
That's exactly right.
So That's going to be on the 21st. That's on a Saturday, 1 to 3. And if you want to come to this, you can just, the tickets are how much now?
$25 in advance and $30 at the door.
25 in advance, 30 at the door. So look, we'll chat more. We'll be right back.
U.S. Central Command has confirmed that 4 crew members were killed when a refueling tanker went down in Iraq. Election officials say up to 14 Republican overseas and military ballots could be considered in the race that could unseat North Carolina's longtime President pro tem of the Senate, Phil Berger, by Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. Diesel prices surged on Thursday to their highest level since December 2022. Then that is hurting truckers. A Pitt County family lost their home after a brush fire spread to a double-wide mobile home and several neighboring outdoor structures, including barns. No one was injured. Duke Energy has reached a settlement agreement with officials in North and South Carolina to combine its 2 subsidiaries in the state. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. At about 7 p.m. on March 12th, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a shooting in the 4800 block of Back Bay Road in Fayetteville. A preliminary investigation revealed that an adult female victim with a gunshot wound was pronounced deceased at the scene. Her identity is being withheld pending next of kin notification. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain under investigation by members of the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. They say this is not a random incident and there appears to be no threat to the public. If you know anything about the investigation, call the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office at 910-677-5548. Several firefighters completed the Lieutenant Candidate Officer Development Program. That course involves over 60 hours of advanced leadership training, in addition to the hundreds of hours completed through their career development program before being able to test for a lieutenant's position. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
High pressure will continue to build into the area behind the cold front that brought showers and storms yesterday. So it'll be a chillier start to the day and a cool afternoon with lots of sunshine. We'll see warmer temperatures for the weekend. We start with clear skies today and temperatures cold in the mid-30s. Lots of sun for your Friday afternoon. Highs reach to around 60. We'll start in the mid-40s on Saturday, then highs by the afternoon will reach to around 70. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
Hey, you looking for your next car? Start at Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville. At Bryan Honda, we make buying a car simple, stress-free, and affordable. Whether you're searching for a brand new Honda or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we've got a huge selection to fit every lifestyle and every budget. From fuel-efficient Civics and Accords to family-friendly CRVs and Pilots, Bryan Honda has the perfect vehicle waiting for you, and with our friendly, knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, bryanhonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
God bless. This is Pastor McAllister, and we would love to be able to invite everyone to share tributes to our late Miss Sandy Cookman. We know many of you want to take time to pause to share with them. Therefore, what we're doing here at the WIDU radio station, we're opening up the phone lines starting on March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m., asking you to please call in, share some love, share a tribute to them. Again, Monday through Friday, March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m. p.m., please call into the radio station 910-483-6111 or even stop by to share some love. They would love to hear from you. They want everybody to have an opportunity. So we are opening up the station and the phone lines starting Monday, March the 9th through the 13th, 1 to 2 p.m. Please call in, take a moment to share words of love, compliments, how you felt about this wonderful woman of God, and we know the family will appreciate it. God bless. Please share that word. Love you.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provides you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
This is Apostle Bernard L. Whitfield Jr., and you're listening to Wake Up.
This is Pastor Neil of the New Covenant Christian Faith Church Ministries, 5427 Murkison Road, and I am proud to be a member of Wake Up.
And we're back now, getting ready to wrap up this last half hour here of the morning drive on Friday. The Vision Resource Center Executive Director, Terri Thomas, she's here with us, and we're chatting about this awesome event that's going to be on Saturday, March 21st from 1 to 3 at the Greek Church, right? Greek Church up on Oak Ridge Avenue.
Yep.
So, look, need for you to come up there. I know you would enjoy it.
Definitely.
Ticket prices are very low.
Very low.
We're talking about $25. Nowadays, that's about like 2 Happy Meals.
That's right. That's right. You just come on out. I mean, it's not going to be, as I told Troy, it's not going to be a normal fashion show that you're used to. You just have to come out and see it for yourself. As we tell the stories of the blind and visually impaired people that I serve, helping to reduce isolation. Hey, and if you can't come, buy a ticket. I mean, Troy's like, can't come, but buy a ticket. They help us reduce isolation, build independence, buy some of those assistive technologies that I talked to you about earlier in the first half, or just being able to help me to help them with what their needs are. We talk about it all the time. What is it I can do for you? Because this is not for me. And we have a meeting every month where they tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, which path we need to go in. And so many of them talk about the independence, and so many of them talk about wanting to work in that kind of way. So I'm constantly trying to figure out how to help them to have a living wage, being visually impaired. Because we went to Chicago. I got my Chicago shirt on. And I went to Chicago, and they really go above and beyond for the blind and visually impaired. And I don't see where we may not be on such a high scale as Chicago, but Fayetteville can do the same thing. As I was telling you before, Troy, I have to educate more our community. Raleigh is on the cutting edge when it comes to blind and visually impaired people because of the School for the Blind. But I think that I can educate Cumberland County to be more aware of that blind people they just can't see, that they're lively, they're vibrant, they're not woe is me. They want to be like everybody else, and they like to have a good time and learn things, and they don't want to just get a check. As people say, oh, they're getting a disability check. A lot of them want to work, that can work. So I'm constantly trying to figure out ways of how to make that happen. So with the funding, that helps to assist in all of that. And keep me staffed, right? Because I ran that race by myself with one part-time driver for a long time, and so now I have a full staff. So I thank Cumberland County for the funding, because I have someone good in there now, 2 good ones in there now that are full-time, that are helping me beat the pavement. So it matters. With small nonprofits, that money matters.
So in 16 years, what have you seen, like, let's say a person becomes visually impaired for whatever reason? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, lights went out.
Wow. I wonder, are we still there? I wonder what happened with that.
It's like a breaker.
Right. Okay.
Let's just keep talking.
But anyway, though, so I wonder if what have you experienced with families, the family side of things, or their support team, and the individuals themselves with their mental health and all that?
Wow. That's a good question, Troy. The biggest thing that I notice with families is a lot of them, for the kids, don't know what to do. I asked this, and I hope someone from Cumberland County School System is there. We need more blind kids and visually impaired kids, because a lot of the parents don't know about us, and they want to know what paths to take. A lot of kids, some kids have supports, but then some don't, right? Lyrica Mose Harris, I'm going to say your names out loud. They have done a wonderful job with their son Cinco. He's at Massey Hill Classical School. He's singing, he's acting, they have the supports. But then there are some kids whose parents, they don't have that. So I want to be able to rally around them. They need a place where they can be rallied upon. Our adults, a lot of their families are happy to find us because there's another family for them with people that are like them. A lot of my adult blind folk, they say, well, some of my family doesn't even get it. They tend to want to enable or coddle sometimes. And that's what we do with people that we love. But a lot of times they don't want that. So when they come to the Vision Resource Center, they're able to be their free selves. They're able to just laugh and find people that get what they're going through on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like they'll say, my family moved my water bottle. People don't realize how critically important it is not to move anything for somebody that's blind. Keep everything, our vision impaired, keep everything in the same place. But as people, we just move things and we don't even realize it. So we educate the families too on, hey, these are some things you might want to think about not doing or doing.
It flashed.
In that way.
Okay, we're good. Okay, all right.
Okay. We had to do a flash check.
Blank the clock and everything.
Yeah, we had a little minor blackout earlier.
All right. Okay, good. Okay. Well, because I just wondered about that, and because I know psychologically, and mentally,
it's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And we rally around with a lot of the families. A lot of the families end up going on the trips too. They come, they become a part of the center, and they normally don't volunteer with their family member. They volunteer with somebody else. That's kind of what I promote. So they're not with their person, right? I want them to be with another person. So then it's like they still have their own identities within the center, but it is a lot. But we're one big family at the VRC, so a lot of the parents, they come on board, they volunteer, and they volunteer for things outside of the actual programs that their family members go to. So that lets me know that we're doing something right.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a very honorable job, position, if you will, to see folk that are in need and to be helping people that, I can imagine that they are extremely grateful to have access to places like the Vision Resource Center and to have the interaction, whereas they have somewhere to go and they're not just sitting home doing nothing.
Nope. Like today, we have a financial literacy class. So we have about 20 people coming to that. So Vision Resource Center has been around for 85 years. I haven't been there that long, but they've been around for over 85 years. And so I'm just happy that based off that little Sunday school class that created this back in the day in Cumberland County, that we're still going on and that I'm taking from what they started and able to broaden upon that and keep it going because it's definitely needed. So I just hope that somehow in this interview, people get to know more about the Vision Resource Center because a lot of people still don't know that we're out there, Troy. You think that you're getting the word out, but a lot of times people don't know about it. So we're there. We normally have programs at least 2, 3, 4 times a week. We do some weekends, and then we have fundraisers such as these, and we try to do everything that's going to uplift them in our mission. We try to do everything in our fundraisers that uplift the mission about blind and visually impaired. That's the key to it.
Right. So you say you have youngsters sometimes, but then I guess perhaps they were born visually impaired, or some of them, or they experienced things that caused them to be.
Yeah, but sometimes most of the time it's genetic. And what I've learned is sometimes preemies, and I didn't know this until I worked the job. Sometimes people that have albinism, they have low vision or visual impairness, and also preemies. Sometimes they have visual impaired issues from being preemies. But then there's some that just have genetic things that are going on that they've inherited from someone in their family line, and they may not get it to maybe they're 7, 8. It may not be noticed at birth, but they may not be born visually impaired either, but they have that genetic trait, and you don't notice it till later down the line. So a lot of times what the misconstruedness is in schools is they may not learn a certain way, and it takes a while for a teacher to realize it's the vision. It's not so much that they may not be actually getting the information. It's the vision that's causing a problem. So I think that would be a plus too, to somehow look into that, where we could find out earlier if kids are experiencing a problem in that way, so they're not held back or looked at as if there may be some type of learning disability, because sometimes it's just a visual impairment problem.
I can see that. And I know that as we get older, we take our, those of us that wear glasses, we're getting checked. They do it for, you may mention of that disease just a minute ago.
Macular glaucoma?
Yeah, glaucoma. Uh-huh. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many different eye diseases that are out there. We have like glasses at the center too, where you could try them on and see what. We probably have a place set up at the fashion show where you can get an idea of what people go through. We used to do the blind and the dark dining, so everybody loved that. I think our last time we did that was in COVID. It was right before COVID hit, and that's where you dine blindfolded. So that was a way to be able to get an idea of what that's like for however long you kept the blindfold on. So that was very successful. So we may be bringing that one back, but people love to do that just to get an idea of why we're in this community. Right, because some of it, now also the test for cataracts, and sometimes initially a doctor would tell you, there's not a need for surgery now. Come back in a year or two, and then we'll see whether or not there's a need. But make sure you go back. Right. I tell people too, we actually promote prevention too, because a lot of times if people would just go back and get the cataract surgery or just go and get checked, it could prevent blindness, or if you're diagnosed with diabetes, please honor your diet. Honor what the doctor says, because a lot of people have diabetic retinopathy. Now, some things you can't control. Some things are genetic you can't control, but prevention, and taking care of your health, that's number one. You have to do that. Right. That would make sense. That would be huge. I'm just, I guess those of us that have sight are blessed, and I guess you don't think about a situation being visually impaired or not being able to see until you lose it. What are some of the testimonies of people, because you work around them, the ones that lost their sight when they were adults or something like that? I mean, and what are they saying? Well, so many of them that I've had so many different testimonies on how when they lost their sight. Like one was a Bevel State alumnus, and she was on the Fish Fry Committee Boosters Club, and she said when she lost her sight, it's almost like it was a disease. Nobody would come around her after that. Oh, wow. And then so many talk about how at first they may want to have killed themselves at first. So you get from one end of the spectrum to another. Like they may call me initially, and they may not come back, and then maybe 4 or 5 months later, they say they want to try it. Now, once they walk through that door, they're hooked. Right. But a lot of times, losing sight is like a death, like losing a family member is what it's like, because you're losing something that's very pivotal to who you are, not being able to see. If you close your eyes right now for 5 seconds and just say, this is going to be you for the rest of your life, you have to think about how you would feel in that. Just sit with it. I do that a lot of when I go out to public speaking engagements, I do that exercise. I said, close your eyes and act as if you're going to walk across Murchison Road like this, or you're going to a family gathering, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Your life is forever changed, because things are not the same. When people are talking, a lot of times for somebody blind, it sounds like it's 5,000 people in a room. They really need people to talk one at a time. So things that used to be fun for them aren't necessarily as fun for them anymore. So what the Vision Resource Center provides is other people that get that, right? Other people that get that. So I can't reach them all, and everybody's not a social butterfly, because we do a lot of things at the Vision Resource Center, but we also do provide that opportunity for resources that are out there if it's something that you want to be resourced. If you need, like I said, a lot of people may call for housing, a lot of people may call for they may need a therapist. We don't do that at the VRC, but we try to meet people where they are, and then we don't leave them there. We still call back and check on them. So you're fighting a lot of different things in terms of battles, like you say, your mental health, the physical. Some people go into, eating a lot, overeating, because what comforts us is food sometimes. So a lot of times people say, I've gained so much weight after I've lost my sight, and that's because that depression kicks in. So the biggest thing is we just try to meet people where they are and let them know that this is not the end. That's the biggest thing, and I try to exude my personality in that. Even though I'm not visually impaired, I try to at least just meet them where they are. And we do have Thomas Bass there. He is completely blind, so a lot of times he actually brings them on board or unboards them. So then that way it's somebody that's visually impaired that's answering the phone and talking them through the process. So I pride myself in that too, being able to hire somebody blind and visually impaired, and wanting to hire more of them, because that makes a difference too. Because it's easy for me to say sometimes, but if somebody's going through it with you, they get it. That's
Right.
the difference in the two.
So what about volunteers?
Oh yes, we love volunteers at the VRC. You could come read on our radio program for the newspapers and stuff, but then come to the programs. It's not, bottom line, they're not woe is me. Come and volunteer. We went down to Asheville to the casino, and people's like, you took them to a casino? Well, what you find out is most of them didn't want to necessarily do the casino, but they wanted to go to the different concerts. They wanted to eat at different restaurants. They wanted to sit at the fire pit. The things we take for granted, going to hotels and having a good time with our family, they rarely get to do that if their families aren't doing it. And so I wish you could have seen us with 10, 15 blind people in a train going around to these restaurants and eating and having a good time. So, it's good we go down to Wade Room so people can come and volunteer. Everybody doesn't drink the wine, but they have good, clean, live band fun down at the Wade Room Winery. Yeah. So my friends say, well, why are you taking them there? I said, well, they're 21 plus. They can drink and they're not driving.
Right, it's true.
So why not? So, I don't limit them in what they do. We go to Raleigh. We stay in Cumberland County. Sometimes we go to Cape Fear Regional Theater, but we go to DPAC. We go to Carolina Theater. So anything that I would do, I take them to do. I mean, new restaurant comes, we're going to it. So we need volunteers to be there. Can you imagine 25 blind people at a buffet? No, you cannot, because they want to know everything that's on the buffet. They want you to describe it. So we need volunteers to come and help us with this. Right. And it will make you feel good too. So it's not just you're helping them, it'll make you feel good too. I use children volunteers for our summer camp. So kids are able to see, you're very blessed to be in the position that you're in. So you're not just getting that volunteer note for school, but you're helping somebody, and then you're learning something from that too. So we need volunteers. So call the center, 910-483-2719, and call me direct, extension 13. I will hook you up immediately.
Say that number again, slower.
Let me get it slow. 910-483-2719, and my extension is 13.
Okay.
That's it. Terri Thomas. So we'll hook you up immediately so we can get you out there to volunteer with some blind and visually impaired people. I know there's a lot of retired people listening to this broadcast. Right. So you want something to do, we will hook you up.
And I think that's what, people want to contribute, but they want, they just need to know what areas that they want to contribute in.
Yeah, in churches. It's hard sometimes to get past the church secretary, when you sending something out to volunteer. So I'm asking churches to jump on board. I tell you, it's... when I left corporate 16 years ago, I didn't know what this was going to be for me, but I think it's broadened me and grown me in so many ways that I just don't even realize. I am helping them, but it's helped me as well, to be their advocate or to be their voice, and then provide them the situation or the template for them to have a voice, So we go to city council meetings, we go to county commissioners meetings, so they can have the voice. I don't speak for them, they speak for themselves, and I promote that all the time. So anyway, we need you. So churches, retirees, people, kids that need volunteer hours, we need you to volunteer at the Vision Resource Center.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, in the faith community, people that were visually impaired, the ones I saw, they were the most immaculately dressed people in the room.
They are.
They were
are.
sharp, man. I mean, it's like, I said,
It does
okay, all
not
right.
stop
You
their
got it going
style.
on.
Nope, it doesn't stop who they are internally just because they can't see. Like I tell people when they come on these trips, I said, they said, God, they're a trip. I said, they're human beings. They just can't see. They're just like me and you. They talk junk. They laugh. They, some stuff I have to tell them calm down a little bit, but they're just regular, everyday people.
Right.
They just need that. They just need that extra help to make it conducive for where they are. And that's it. I just try to make sure I take them places where it's conducive for them to thrive. That's the biggest thing.
So those individuals that cannot come to your event on the 21st, but they just want to buy a ticket anyhow.
Yes.
How do you make that happen?
Okay, make that happen. Buy a ticket at www.visionresourcecenter.org. Okay, and then you can buy a ticket. It's right there. It's the first thing on the page. So let me make sure I got that right because I missed the CC. www.visionresourcecenter.cc for Cumberland County.org. And the Full Bloom, the Blindness Fashion Show is right there. Click on it. You can buy a ticket, make a donation right there. All the proceeds will go to help isolation, create independence, and just bless a blind and visually impaired person to help us do the work here in Cumberland County. We
Excellent.
appreciate that.
Well, look,
in advance.
We appreciate all that you do, and you've been there 16 years now,
Yes.
and so obviously this is a good fit for you and a good fit for them.
Yep, and I'm going to leave 2 tickets, so if anybody calls in, they can have these 2 tickets to come to the Full Bloom Fashion Show.
Okay,
Troy?
all right. Well, I'm going to leave those with Ray up here.
Okay, he's got it. He's got it. So we just appreciate the opportunity about spreading the word about this worthwhile event, Troy. I appreciate
Excellent.
it.
Well, look, we appreciate you so much. I'll let you have the last word.
Last word, Full Bloom Blindness Fashion Show, Saturday, March 21st, 1 to 3 at the Hellenic Center, otherwise known as the Greek Church, 614 Oak Ridge Avenue. Please come out and support the blind and visually impaired. All we need is you. We have the models. All we need is you to be there. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to have Heartbeat with Reverend Dr. John and Ron Godbolt. And 11, we will have MP3 with Myron, Migel, and Marshall Pitts. Thank you all so much. Continue to be praying for the Cookman family.
Yes,
and those services are slated to be on Tuesday at 11 o'clock at Kingdom Impact. Just an incredible person. It's been difficult for us knowing that she's not suffering. We know that. But still, losing her was huge.
Major.
Nobody saw that coming, but God is still in control. Appreciate you, Reverend Doctor and Reverend Dr. Carl Brinkley, and also Paul Matthews producing on the day. So look, you all have a great rest of your day. I think the day is going to be a little bit warm, but it was like 90 degrees one day. It was hot out there, man.
Not now.
But it's going to drop down to like 44, so it'll get real cold. Anyway, look, and have a great weekend as well, and wish you the best on next Saturday, because tomorrow will be the 14th, so the next Saturday, you got time to get a running start, okay? And become a part of this Full Bloom Cultivating Confidence, a fashion show starring visually impaired people.
Yes. Thank you again, Troy.
Thank you so much, Terry. Take care.
Mm-hmm.